Imagine living a life where nothing can shake your inner peace. A life where chaos and negativity might swirl around you, but they never touch the calm center of your being. How amazing would it feel to move through the world with that kind of unshakable peace? Today we're going to explore the wisdom of Buddha, who taught that peace comes from within. We don't find lasting peace in external achievements or possessions, but in cultivating a deep sense of inner stillness. This video will guide you through 10 timeless lessons from Buddha that can help you transform chaos into peace. These teachings are like medicine for the soul, offering guidance on releasing the past, embracing change, and finding the power of the present moment. Take a deep breath, let go of any tension, and let's begin our journey towards unlocking your inner wisdom and peace. In the chaos of our modern lives, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by stress. Our minds race, our bodies tense up, and we lose touch with the present moment. But Buddha taught that we have a powerful tool always with us to find peace: our breath. Breathing is more than just a physical process, it's a bridge between our body and mind. When we focus on our breath, we anchor ourselves to the present, calming both our physical and mental state. Conscious breathing allows us to create a pause between a difficult situation and our reaction to it. In that pause, we find the space to choose a more skillful response, one that aligns with peace and understanding. Remember, your breath is always there for you, a constant source of peace in a world that often feels anything but peaceful. Buddha said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." Our thoughts have immense power, shaping our perceptions, experiences, and ultimately, our reality. Imagine your mind as a garden. Just like a garden, our mind can be a space where we cultivate beauty, growth, and peace. But it can also become overrun with weeds if we don't tend to it carefully. Negative thoughts are like weeds in the garden of our mind. They can choke out the positive thoughts, preventing us from experiencing joy, peace, and contentment. To cultivate a peaceful mind, we must become mindful gardeners of our thoughts, consciously choosing to plant seeds of positivity, kindness, and compassion. Reframing is a powerful tool for transforming negative thoughts into opportunities for growth. It's about shifting our perspective, looking for the lessons hidden within challenges, and finding the good even in difficult situations. When you encounter a negative thought, don't try to suppress it or ignore it. Instead, acknowledge it and then ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I grow from this experience? Reframing isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing that even in difficulty, there are opportunities for learning, growth, and transformation. Remember, every challenge we face presents an opportunity to cultivate resilience, wisdom, and inner peace. It's important to remember that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. You have the power to choose which thoughts you give attention to and which thoughts you let go of. When a negative thought arises, acknowledge it, but don't identify with it. See it as a passing cloud in the sky of your mind. Don't judge yourself for having negative thoughts. It's human. Instead, gently redirect your attention to a more positive thought. Focus on gratitude, compassion, or a loving memory. You are the architect of your mind. Choose your thoughts wisely and watch as your reality transforms. Chapter 4. Detach emotionally or you will be controlled by chaos. Life throws a lot our way. We face challenges at work, difficulties in our personal lives, and conflicts in our relationships. It can feel like a constant battle, leaving us feeling overwhelmed and off balance. When we allow external events to dictate our emotional state, we surrender our inner peace. Buddha's teachings offer a powerful solution: detachment. This doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent. It's about creating a healthy distance between our emotions and our reactions. It's about recognizing that we have the power to choose how we respond to life's ups and downs. Think of a ship navigating a stormy sea. The ship represents our inner peace, and the waves are our emotions. Without a skilled captain, the ship is tossed and turned at the mercy of the elements. Detachment is the captain within us, holding the wheel steady, guiding us through the storm. Remember, you are not your emotions, you are the observer, the witness to the ebb and flow. By cultivating detachment, you reclaim your power, becoming the master of your inner world. When negativity surrounds us, it's easy to get swept away in a tide of anger, frustration, or sadness. These emotions are natural, but they don't have to control us. The key is to create space between the emotion and our reaction. This is where the power of pause comes in. When you feel those intense emotions rising, take a moment to breathe. Acknowledge the emotion present. Name it: anger, sadness, fear. By simply recognizing it, you've taken the first step towards detachment. Imagine a pot of boiling water. If you keep adding fuel to the fire, the water will continue to boil over. But if you turn down the heat even for a moment, the water will eventually calm. Detachment is like turning down the heat of our emotions, allowing us to respond with clarity and wisdom. Remember, your breath is your anchor. When you feel overwhelmed, return to your breath. This simple act can create the space you need to detach and regain control. Detaching from our emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. It's about acknowledging their presence without letting them dictate our actions. It's about choosing how we respond rather than reacting impulsively. Imagine your emotions as waves crashing on the shore. You can stand on the beach and observe the waves, feeling their power without being swept away. You can appreciate their beauty and intensity without letting them drag you under. This is the essence of detachment: to observe our emotions with a sense of curiosity and acceptance without judgment or resistance. When we can do this, we create space for peace and clarity to emerge. Remember, you are the sky, vast and expansive. Your emotions are like clouds passing through. They may come and go, but the sky remains unchanged. You are the constant, the steady presence amidst the ever-changing landscape of your emotions. Chapter 5. Detach from that which causes you suffering and pain. Let it go. Make space for peace and healing. The Buddha wisely said, you only lose what you cling to. This profound statement holds the key to understanding the root of suffering. We cling to people, possessions, ideas, and even to control itself. We grasp tightly, believing that our happiness depends on holding on. But the truth is, clinging is the very source of our suffering. When we hold on too tightly, we create tension, resistance, and ultimately pain. This clinging can manifest in countless ways: fear of loss, jealousy, attachment to outcomes, and the need to control everything and everyone around us. Think of a child clutching a handful of sand. The tighter they squeeze, the more sand escapes their grasp. The desire to possess and control ultimately leads to loss and disappointment. This clinging, this grasping, is a natural human tendency. We seek security and comfort in the familiar, in the things we believe bring us happiness. But true freedom lies in letting go. Letting go can be a difficult concept to grasp, let alone practice. It requires immense courage to release what we hold dear, to surrender to the unknown. But in that surrender, we discover a profound sense of peace and liberation. Imagine a tightrope walker gracefully moving across a high wire. They understand that clinging too tightly to the balancing pole would restrict their movement and potentially lead to a fall. Instead, they hold it lightly, allowing it to guide them while maintaining their balance. Letting go doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive. It means releasing our grip on the things we cannot control, trusting in the natural flow of life. It's about accepting that change is inevitable and that resisting it only creates more suffering. Remember, you are not defined by what you possess or by the outcomes you desire. Your worthiness is not dependent on external factors. True freedom comes from within, from the courage to let go and embrace the unknown. When we cling to people, we suffocate the relationship with our expectations and need for control. When we cling to possessions, we become enslaved by material desires. And when we cling to the past, we prevent ourselves from fully embracing the present moment. Letting go creates space. It allows us to breathe, to heal, and to open ourselves up to new possibilities. It's in this space of surrender that we find true peace and happiness. Imagine a glass already filled to the brim with water. Trying to add more water will only cause it to spill. To make space for something new, we must first empty our cup. Letting go is the process of emptying our cup, creating space for peace, joy, and love to flow in. Remember, you are worthy of love, peace, and happiness. But to experience these gifts fully, you must first create the space for them to enter your life. Let go of what no longer serves you and trust that something beautiful awaits on the other side of surrender. Chapter 6. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. The past can be a heavy burden to carry. It's filled with regrets, what-ifs, and old hurts that can keep us stuck in a cycle of pain and negativity. We replay past mistakes, relive painful memories, and allow the past to define our present reality. But as Buddha wisely reminds us, the past is not a place we can live in. It's a teacher, not a home. It holds valuable lessons and experiences that have shaped us into who we are today. But it doesn't have to dictate our future. Think of the past like a book you've already read. You can revisit certain chapters, reflect on the story, and learn from the characters, but you wouldn't want to get stuck rereading the same pages over and over. Remember, you are not your past. You are not defined by your mistakes or failures. The past is gone, and all you have is this present moment. Choose to release the weight of yesterday and step into the freedom of now. Just as the past can hold us captive, so too can the future. We get caught up in worries, anxieties, and endless plans, constantly chasing after what might be, instead of appreciating what is. We dream of a future that hasn't arrived, missing out on the beauty and fullness of the present moment. The truth is, the future is not promised. It's an ever-shifting landscape, shaped by our choices and actions, but also influenced by countless factors beyond our control. Imagine chasing after a butterfly. The more you pursue it, the further it flits away. But if you sit patiently and quietly, it may just land softly on your shoulder. Remember, worrying about the future is like paying interest on a debt you may never owe. It robs you of the joy and peace that can only be found in the present moment. The present moment is all we truly have. It's the only place where life actually unfolds, where we experience joy, love, connection, and peace. When we shift our focus from the regrets of the past and the anxieties of the future to the richness of the present moment, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. Think of your life as a series of stepping stones across a flowing river. The past is behind you, the future is ahead, and the only solid ground is the stone beneath your feet. That stone represents the present moment. The present moment is a gift, a precious opportunity to connect with ourselves, with others, and with the world around us. It's in the now that we find true peace, joy, and fulfillment. Remember, the present moment is not something to be rushed through or endured. It's an opportunity to be savoured, to be fully present, and to experience the richness and beauty of life as it unfolds. The river doesn't resist its journey to the ocean, does it? It flows, adapting to every bend, every rock, every change in the landscape. And just like that river, life itself is a constant state of flux. We are not meant to be stagnant pools, but flowing rivers of energy and experience. Change can feel unsettling, I know. We crave stability, familiarity, but imagine if everything stayed the same. Would we grow? Would we learn? Would we discover the vast potential that lies within each of us? Embrace the ebb and flow of life. See change not as something happening to you, but for you. It's pushing you, guiding you, shaping you into the best version of yourself. Trust the process, even when it feels uncomfortable. Because on the other side of change lies growth, wisdom, and a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Think about a time you held on to something too tightly, a friendship, a possession, an idea. What happened? Did it bring you joy? Or did it create tension, pain, suffering? We often cling to the past, to who we were, to what we had. But the past is like a closed fist. It traps us, preventing us from opening our hands to receive the gifts of the present moment. Buddha taught us that impermanence is the very nature of existence. Everything is in a constant state of flux. What rises will fall, what begins will end. And in that realization lies a profound freedom. It's a reminder that pain is temporary, loss is not the end, and every ending is simply a new beginning in disguise. Let go of what no longer serves you. Release the past with grace and make space for the beauty of the present. Every sunrise is a testament to the power of new beginnings. It's a reminder that no matter what happened yesterday, today is a blank page, an opportunity to rewrite your story. What are you ready to let go of? What old patterns, beliefs or habits are holding you back from experiencing the fullness of life? Change is inevitable, but transformation is a choice. Choose to embrace the unknown, to step outside of your comfort zone, and to greet each new day with a heart full of hope and a mind open to possibility. Remember, you are not defined by your past. You are not your mistakes, your failures, or your regrets. You are a work in progress, constantly evolving, growing and becoming. Embrace the journey, my friends. Embrace the change. We live in a world that constantly bombards us with noise, demands and distractions. It tells us that happiness is found in external achievements, more money, a bigger house, the perfect relationship. But the truth is, lasting peace cannot be found in the ever-changing realm of the external world. Imagine chasing after a mirage in the desert. You run and run, desperate for a drop of water, but it always seems just out of reach. That's what it's like to seek peace in external validation, possessions or achievements. True peace, the kind that nourishes your soul and brings lasting joy, resides within you. It's a state of being, not a destination to be reached. It's about finding stillness amidst the chaos, contentment in the present moment, and acceptance of what is. Close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let go of any tension, any worries, any thoughts that are clouding your mind. Just be present in this moment, that stillness you feel, that sense of calm amidst the busyness of your day. That's the beginning of finding peace within. It's not about silencing the world around you, but about silencing the noise within. The answers you seek, the guidance you crave, the peace you long for, it's all already within you. But you have to create the space to listen. You have to turn inward. How do you create that space? Start by dedicating a few minutes each day to simply being present with yourself. This could be through meditation, journaling, spending time in nature, or anything that allows you to connect with your inner world. When you quiet your mind, you create space for your inner wisdom to emerge. You begin to hear the whispers of your soul, guiding you, supporting you, leading you towards a life filled with meaning, purpose, and peace. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. And you have the power to choose which thoughts you give your attention to. Choose thoughts that empower you, that inspire you, that bring you closer to the peace you seek. In our fast-paced, hyper-connected world, silence can feel like a foreign concept. We fill our days with endless noise music, podcasts, social media, the constant chatter of our own minds. Silence can feel uncomfortable, even intimidating. We avoid it like an empty room, fearing the echoes of our own thoughts. But what if I told you that silence is not empty at all? What if it's actually the richest, most fertile ground for growth, wisdom, and inner peace? Silence is not the absence of sound, but the presence of stillness. It's in the quiet moments that we connect with our true selves, with the deepest yearnings of our hearts. Think about a time you had a breakthrough idea, a moment of clarity, or a profound realization. Did it happen in the midst of chaos and noise? Or was it during a quiet moment of reflection? Silence is the language of the soul. It's when we quiet the external noise that we can finally hear the whispers of our intuition, the guidance of our inner wisdom. It's in the stillness that we connect with the source of our creativity, our inspiration, and our deepest truths. Start small. Dedicate just 5 minutes each day to sit in silence. No distractions, no phone, no to-do lists. Just you and the present moment. Observe your breath. Notice the sensations in your body. Become aware of the thoughts that arise without judgment. As you become more comfortable with silence, you can gradually increase the duration of your practice. Remember, silence is not about achieving a state of emptiness, but about creating space for fullness. Fullness of presence, fullness of awareness, fullness of connection to yourself and the world around you. In the words of the Buddha, silence is an empty space. Space is the home of the awakened mind. Create that space within yourself and witness the awakening that unfolds. In today's world, we're constantly bombarded with information, opinions and noise. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of words, to feel pressured to have an opinion on everything, to engage in endless debates. But the Buddha teaches us a powerful lesson. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Think about that for a moment. How often do we speak just to fill the silence? To make ourselves heard, or even to prove a point? How often do our words create more noise, more conflict, more distance, instead of understanding, connection and peace? The Buddha's words remind us that true communication isn't about the quantity of words, but the quality of their impact. It's about choosing words that heal, that inspire, that uplift, that bring people together. It's about speaking with intention, with kindness, and with the genuine desire to create harmony. Take a moment to reflect on your own communication style. Do your words bring peace to yourself and others, or do they add to the noise and chaos of the world? Remember, every word we utter has the power to create or destroy, to hurt or to heal. Choose your words wisely. In a world that glorifies speaking, the art of listening is often overlooked. We're so busy formulating our next response, defending our viewpoints, or simply waiting for our turn to speak that we forget to truly listen to what others have to say. The Buddha, however, recognized the profound power of listening. He said, "When you talk, you're only repeating what you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new." Listening is an act of humility, of opening ourselves up to different perspectives, of acknowledging that we don't have all the answers. When we listen deeply, we create space for understanding, for empathy, for connection. We show the other person that we value their thoughts and feelings, even if we don't agree with them. This simple act of listening can be incredibly healing, both for ourselves and for the people around us. So the next time you're engaged in a conversation, try to truly listen. Quiet your mind, let go of your own agenda, and pay attention to the words, the tone, and the emotions behind the other person's message. You might be surprised by what you learn. Speaking less doesn't mean staying silent when your voice needs to be heard. There are times when it's important to speak up, to share our truth, to stand up for what we believe in. But even in these moments, we can strive to speak with kindness and compassion. Remember, our words have the power to leave a lasting impact on others. A harsh word spoken in anger can create a wound that takes a long time to heal. On the other hand, a kind word offered in love can have a transformative effect, bringing comfort, hope, and encouragement. The Buddha taught us to speak with right speech, which means speaking truthfully, kindly, and helpfully. It's about choosing words that are constructive, not destructive. Words that uplift, not degrade. Words that unite, not divide. So the next time you speak, ask yourself, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? If the answer to any of these questions is no, perhaps it's better to remain silent. Remember, the greatest gift we can offer to the world is our presence, our compassion, and our peaceful words. In a world obsessed with material possessions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. We chase after wealth, status, and fame, believing that these external achievements will bring us happiness. But the Buddha offers a different perspective. Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. These words remind us that true wealth isn't found in bank accounts or possessions, but in the richness of our well-being, the peace of our minds, and the strength of our connections. It's about cultivating inner peace and fulfillment rather than chasing after external validation. Think about it. What good is material wealth if we're constantly stressed, anxious, or unwell? What use is status if we're surrounded by people but feel deeply alone? True wealth lies in nurturing our physical, mental, and emotional well-being and in cultivating relationships built on trust, love, and mutual respect. The Buddha's teachings encourage us to shift our focus from material pursuits to inner cultivation. It's about recognizing that true happiness and fulfillment come from within, from living a life aligned with our values, and from cultivating deep and meaningful connections. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. This profound statement from the Buddha highlights the immense power our thoughts have over our reality. Our thoughts shape our perceptions, influence our emotions, and ultimately determine the course of our lives. If we constantly dwell on negativity, fear, and self-doubt, we create a reality filled with those very things. On the other hand, if we cultivate positive thoughts, self-love, and gratitude, we attract more joy, abundance, and fulfillment into our lives. The Buddha taught that our minds are like gardens. We have the choice to plant seeds of kindness, compassion, and love, or we can allow weeds of negativity, anger, and resentment to take root. The thoughts we water are the ones that will grow and flourish. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. You have the power to choose which thoughts you entertain, which thoughts you allow to shape your reality. Choose wisely. In our fast-paced, hyper-connected world, silence can feel like a rare and precious commodity. We're constantly bombarded with stimulation, from our phones to our televisions to the constant chatter of the world around us. But the Buddha teaches us that true peace and clarity are found in the stillness within. He says, Silence is an empty space. Space is the home of the awakened mind. It's in the quiet moments when we disconnect from the external noise and turn inward that we connect with our inner wisdom, our intuition, and our authentic selves. Meditation is a powerful tool for cultivating inner silence. Even a few minutes of daily meditation can have a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being. It helps us to quiet the chatter of the mind, to become more present, and to cultivate a deep sense of inner peace. This is your call to return to simplicity. Make time for silence in your life. Meditate, even if it's just for 5 minutes each day. Disconnect from the digital world and reconnect with yourself. You might be surprised by the clarity, creativity, and peace you find waiting for you in the stillness. Thank you for spending this time with me, exploring the timeless wisdom of the Buddha. I hope these teachings have brought you a sense of peace, clarity, and inspiration. Remember, the path to inner peace is a journey, not a destination. There will be moments of challenge, moments of doubt, and moments when you feel lost or discouraged. But it's in these moments that the Buddha's teachings can serve as a guiding light, reminding you to breathe, to reframe, to detach, to let go, and to return to the present moment. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. We are all in this together, learning, growing, and striving towards a more peaceful and compassionate way of being. If these teachings resonated with you, please share them with someone who might need to hear them. Let us be beacons of peace, kindness, and wisdom in a world that desperately needs these qualities. And remember to return to these teachings whenever the world feels too loud, too chaotic, or too overwhelming. Until next time, be still, be kind, and shine your light brightly.